clicked.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I definitely got to ask you about that. Now you did a summer camp with the Rockets and the Celtics.
Yeah, so summer league with the Rockets and the Celtics, and then summer training camp with the Portland Trailblazers. So it's been a few touches with the league, which has been really cool. That changed everything for me.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's an experience that people dream about. Just even
Uh,
people just want to go to the game, let alone going to a summer
yeah,
camp or going to a
mm,
training camp or whatever. So I got to
yeah.
ask you a little bit about that. Like, what exactly is? Is it like a tryout? Is it like a practice? Like, what
Yeah.
what is that?
So for me, after my first year in Japan, I got invited to the Rockets summer league. So um, but basically, for about a week before everyone goes to Vegas, we have these practices and we're running our drills and we're just getting everything together so that we can go to Vegas and play. And to me, that was my first NBA experience. That because I played against NBA players all through high school. I used to go and seek out NBA players to play against, but that was my first time actually playing against with a full roster of NBA guys. We had veterans and 3-year guys who averaged double digits in the league on our team. So it was just a totally different game from what you're used to. Even in Japan, like the Pro Bowl over there, you get to the playing against these NBA teams. Like I said before, I went from being one of the tallest players on the court to at 6'6". I'm a big guard. I got there. I was one of the shortest players on the roster. Um, I think the shortest player was like Ray McCallum at 6'3". And so to me, it was just a big adjustment. And I go to the Rockets, and they're like, okay, everything's really quick. No one's taking time to hone stuff. It's like go, go, go. And the offense and the pace of play is insane. Where you just, I think that first practice, I felt like I was just running suicides on the court with how fast we were playing, and we were running Mike D'Antoni's offense. So it was shoot quick threes. We want the second we get an open three, we shoot it. So it's basically a fire drill to where we're sprinting up and down the court and just shooting threes the whole time. So definitely a big difference because I can shoot threes, but that was never really my primary game to where I'm taking up the court, pass back, and shot. That's not to me. I'm get in the paint, go to mid range stuff like that. But it was kind of funny. I think the first practice we had a guy named Jochi who he's Chinese. He's 7'3" or something like that. He's super tall, and he had a guy who was 6'7" on him. So first practice, we run down. He's got him sealed in the paint. I throw it in the paint for a post touch. I'm like, you got a mismatch. Just hook him over the shoulder, easy. And coach blows the whistle, and I'm sitting there like, what? And coach is like, we don't want any post ups. We don't want any mid range shots. We don't want any of that. All we want are threes. So I'm sitting there like, what do we do? We got so I had to adjust my game and kind of prepare myself. And that's kind of with the NBA, you just kind of got to run somebody else's offense. And even if it's not how you would normally play, you kind of have to adjust on the fly and really get get familiar with that system. So I found after that it was like every day just getting up threes all the time and getting to the point where you have that consistency to where you can make those shots because those are the shots you're going to be getting. So I had fun with that. And then after the summer league, the Rockets invited me to work out with the team up until training camp. So I was working out with them every day. Got to like James Harden and all those guys are in the gym. So it's with you're with the Rockets. And then Chris Paul got traded to the team. That was that big trade where Chris Paul and PJ Tucker got traded in, and so they were like, "Well, the rest of you all can go." so so me and a bunch of guys just, that was the end of that for me. But the experience was crazy. I learned so much, and just for me, it was guarding James Harden. Um, so they had me kind of play defense on him for what 10 possessions, where he would just go offensively, and that was insane. Because before that, I'd played against James Harden in runs and pickup and stuff like that, but having to just strictly guard him and seeing what his footwork is like, that was a game changer for me. So I picked up a whole bunch of skills and knowledge from that.
Man, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. You literally play with some of the best players
Mm.
on earth. I mean, from the NBA,
Yeah,
obviously, but
yeah,
Mexico, Indonesia, Japan. I mean, you
yeah.
could write a book about that. You know.
It was insane. I guess Boston, the Celtics, when I was there, same kind of situation. You have the week before summer league, so I got a late call because I was at that time I had just got back from Mexico, so um, I was actually I was checking out some Big Three games. So I just got home. I was just having fun hanging out with some of the guys in the Big Three, and I got a call from Danny Ainge inviting me to their summer league training camp. So I flew in. It was I flew in and I got there day two, and the media had made this big deal because Robert Williams, he had just got drafted and he was supposed to be there and he missed his flight the first day. So when I showed up, the news articles were like Adam Drexler and Robert Williams late to summer league practice. I was like, I'm not late. I just got an invite. So that was funny. And then that one was different because with the Rockets, they kind of didn't care about their summer league, but they still wanted it to run their system. With the Celtics, they were in a situation where they were a championship or bust, so their summer league doesn't matter. So they were trying to get Kyrie to stay. That was when right before he left, and then basically all our practices, we were just scrimmaging, and Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown would be in the scrimmages getting their reps, and that's what they used our summer league, mini camp for, is just to give them reps and give them more game experience, and then try to keep Kyrie. But yeah, Brad Stevenson was there, and he's a phenomenal coach. So he was just he would lecture us, and he would kind of take us through, you know, the systems and how to kind of play this brand of basketball. So it was really, really interesting to kind of have him be a mentor. So I love that. That helped me a lot. And then same thing with Portland. You learn from guys like Dame, but that I'd say in terms of all the NBA teams that I got to be invited to, I mean, Portland, I had the most fun, and not just because of my dad, but just because um, Portland, the coach Stotts, he came in the first day. It was no names, no Adam Drexler, Clyde's kid. It was just, hey, I don't care who you guys are. The only thing I care about is at the end of the day, he kept a list of how many wins and how many losses you got on the games, and he's like, the only thing I care about is who's at the top of this board at the end of the week. So to me, that was the most fun I've ever had hooping. All we did was just play um, up and down. We had guys like Caleb Swanigan, rest in peace. We had Nurkic. We had Wade Baldwin, and then Dame was there. So I had a ton of fun. Dame wasn't working out with us though because we were Xavier Silas was there, Rodney Stuckey, Marcus Thornton. So it was a lot of vets and a lot of guys I grew up watching that I got to play against, and Portland's kind of looking at everybody. Hey, do we want to add somebody to the roster? So that was the most fun I ever had. At the end of the week, I made sure my name was at the top of that list, and that was just I loved it.
Man, that's what's up. That's the most important thing. Like you say, you had a
Mm,
good time. You enjoying doing something that you
mm,
grew up wanting to do, getting to play with people you looked up to, obviously.
mm.